One big Obliterator.
One big nightmare of a creature. Please tell me Obliterator wins the finals.
I'm not seeing a way out here. Got to kill the lifelinker, take 5, you're on a 3-turn clock. Yeah, I don't know what the path to victory is here anymore.
Welcome everybody to the top 8 of Stream League 8. Top 8, Stream League 8. Sponsored by CoolStuffInc.com. We have JohnLikesGames playing against Todd Turkey. We have seen briefly the mono black deck, but here it is for a full match. What do you think about this matchup, Jim?
Phyrexian Obliterator versus Nettle Cyst. It's perfect. It's perfect. Pretty interesting looking black aggro deck here. More like almost mid-range aggro deck. Rotting Regisaur, Phyrexian Obliterator. A lot of new alchemy cards in the deck, which is pretty sweet. And then, of course, you saw Affinity. This is gonna be an interesting one. Not a lot of removal in the Affinity deck. As far as, there's the portable holes, and that's really it. There isn't really a way for this Affinity deck to actually kill an Obliterator. So it will be a moat on the ground. It's gonna be an interesting one. I'm not sure who's on top here, honestly.
Yeah, Sap Vitality is a pretty interesting card that JohnLikesGames has in his hand right now. It's a new to alchemy card. It'll give a card in hand perpetually +3/+0, which is interesting. 5
not very
lander,
good how many creatures in your hand, unfortunately, but
5 lander.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
6.
Oh no.
How about 6?
This is not how you want to start out the game 1 in the top 8.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not.
We were just riding on the back of Knight of the Ebon Legion, hoping there was no portable hole, and there was one.
Yeah, and Sap Vitality is... Oh, there you go. Perfect. I was going to say, Sap Vitality is very interesting because do you want to cast it without a creature in your hand? Yes or no kind of thing. So now we see an 8/5 Obliterator, and the only real answer here is a Metallic Rebuke from Todd Turkey. If this thing does not get rebuked, I'm pretty sure the game is already over.
It can't get rebuked, right?
Land drop here could do it.
Here we go. That's the treasure vault, Jim.
That's not a blue land.
Oh my gosh. Obliterator. Let's go! Does Obliterator win a game in top 8?
Yeah, this is Obliterator's going solo here. This is going to be a solo job. I don't think that... Because the Obliterator is not a card you can block. So... I mean, I suppose we could see like a Nettle Cyst into a Shadow Spear to gain some life. And like race it that way. That's probably the only path. That is the meanest Obliterator I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh my gosh, especially knowing your opponent doesn't have an out to it.
Yeah, and then also the Murderous Rider hand closes off a lot of avenues.
I guess you can just block it, but that's not good.
You can block it. You can deal damage to it if you'd like to.
Oh, here we go. 8 to the face. Yikes.
I'd have a lot of respect if Top double block there and just sacrifice 5 permanents, but I guess the Murderous Rider would also ruin
if any deck can sacrifice 5 permanents, it's that deck.
This is true. The deck does put a lot of permanents in play for sure. Shadow Spear or bust, but even then Murderous Rider shuts that down. I think this game's already over. One big Obliterator.
One big nightmare of a creature.
Yeah. Phyrexians are back.
Oh no.
And poor Todd.
Oh,
the problem is, even post-board, there's no answer to this. There's 4 glass caskets and no way to remove Obliterator from the battlefield. Obliterator is a very polarizing card. Against some decks, it's heinously terrible. They just kill it directly, counter it, wrath it, whatever. Against some decks, it's almost unbeatable. Gruul being a good example. You play Obliterator against Gruul, and if they don't kill you that turn, they're just dead.
Or Obliterator just gets like Skyclave Apparitioned or whatever, easily killed. But yeah, against Gruul, they just die.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Shadow Spear. So that's a piece of the puzzle. But again, I think Murderous Rider is going to put this one away.
Yeah, whatever Shadow Spear goes on to. Okay,
wow.
I mean, a lot of cards, but
yeah,
can Obliterator beat like 8 cards in hand? Yes.
All right. I mean, we could see a double block on Obliterator. Oh, wow.
Whoa.
I find this to be incredibly surprising.
I guess you just get in with Hive and the Gifted Aetherborn?
Oh, I guess the Hive is... You're right. The Hive is lethal. Hiding there amongst the lands is the Hive of the Eye Tyrant for lethal.
Hiving there. Wow.
Hiving there amongst the lands.
Phyrexian Obliterator solo job.
I love how that hand went from literally 5 swamps and like, oh my god, what's happening here, to can't ever lose.
Oh man. Okay, that's why you play this deck. Because you want to play Phyrexian Obliterator.
Oh yeah, you don't put 19 swamps in your deck without a plan, and Phyrexian Obliterator is certainly a plan.
There's a Veteran Ghoulcaller that I've never seen before. Can you tell us about that card real quick? Veteran Ghoulcaller.
I can't give me 1 second to read it. Veteran Ghoulcaller, let's take a look. It is a new alchemy card. It's a 2-mana 2/1 menace. Whenever a card in your graveyard is put into your hand, conjure a duplicate of that card into your hand. So they have Phyrexian Reclamation here to return cards. So kind of like basically doubles all of your raised dead effects. While also being a 2/1. There aren't actually that many effects in this deck that put cards back into your hand from your graveyard. But 2/1 menace for 2 could do worse than that regardless.
I mean, they're in the top 8 because they probably resolved that. Or they never resolved it.
Yeah, I mean, again, the fail state of being a 2/1 menace for 2 could be a lot worse. So
okay, here we go, Jim. This is a hand.
It's got Reggie.
You know what? Also, if you can't deal with the Phyrexian Obliterator, maybe you also can't deal with a Rotting Regisaur.
Well, no, you can though because the 3 is a lot less than 4. 4 glass caskets. So that one's answerable. It is mostly just specifically Obliterator that cannot be answered, except for Metallic Rebuke.
Oh, that third land. Things I love to see.
See Reggie here.
I
think awkward sequencing wise.
I think we see Scavenger first, but yeah.
And then also the Sap Vitality wants to have things in hand, so kind of wants to get cast first, but.
Okay, well that makes some things easier here, right?
Yes. Now with the Bloodchief Thirst, you could just fire off a double kill spell turn and use Vitality on the Scavenger, which is pretty good.
I kind of like that.
Could also just play Scavenger as well, and then do that next turn. Because the attacks here are still good, regardless.
Is this deck playing Gutter Bones? Because that can go back to hand, too.
There is no Gutter Bones.
Okay.
No Gutter Bones.
There's the Glass Casket we were talking about. But now they don't have Glass Casket for Rotting Regisaur, Jim. Do we see a Reggie go the distance?
Reggie is free to roam. And another Knight.
Not bad.
Interesting though, because Pummeler doesn't want to be, totally all in here, looking to see which way is what. The Black Staff plays well against removal spells. And here comes the Aetherborn. What is the play going to be here?
Wow.
Reggie.
No.
Reggie.
Yes!
Reggie. All right, and now there are more questions. What gets discarded this turn?
Probably the Sap Vitality. I could see the Knight being discarded too.
Yeah, I think just keeping both kill spells is pretty reasonable, honestly. Veteran Ghoulcaller. That's not gonna actually matter because it'll get discarded to the thing. So
more like Veteran Ghoulcaller.
So we're gonna see the attack here. This surprises me a lot. I am extremely surprised to see Bloodchief Thirst not kill the Smith.
Wow.
Trading off a creature here seems very bad because now if Regisaur is dealt with, you've got nothing left.
Maybe wanting to Bloodchiefs the 2/1 and then play Veteran Ghoulcaller and maybe Sap Vitality and upkeep before the draw step? Or in response to the Rotting Regisaur trigger?
That's possible. Just gonna play it now, augment the Ghoulcaller, and just say go. And now, we're in a spot where we have two good spells in our hand. We're just trying to Regisaur, and we have nothing else. All right, and Reggie is huge, but it's not free. It does ask.
I kind of like discarding Ghoulcaller, just Bloodchief, pay the 1 for Sentinel, and get in for 7. Oh, this is even better. You just let them draw and play Gifted Aetherborn.
Yeah, I agree with that. Cards don't matter here. Kill your opponent.
See, the card advantage for Rotting Regisaur is the card your opponent has left in their hand when they're dead.
There's also the problem. The thing is that by not playing Aetherborn, now Pummeler has also lost Aetherborn. So Pummeler traded the Gifted Aetherborn in hand. Oh, no, he's not anymore. So, all right. So still Hibs. Guess who's back?
Okay, there's 7 life. Do you chump block Todd Turkey? Oh my gosh.
It is pretty humorous that the Black Staff is an infinite source of chump blockers for a bit.
That wasn't a removal spell, but it was a Castle Locthwain, which is very important.
Yeah, pretty good drop. The mono black lands are really good. Locthwain's great. Hive the Eye Tyrant's great.
I don't even think you castle. Oh my gosh, and that's the scoop!
Yeah, what a game. By all rights, that shouldn't have happened. 6 cards in hand.
Oh my gosh!
But Regisaur says you kill me or you die, and unfortunately, Todd just could not find the answer fast enough. A pretty brutal match here in top 8. Pretty brutal first match.
JohnLikesGames asked the questions. Todd Turkey provides the answers. Could not answer the question. We're going to get a chance to watch this from the Phoenix perspective. A couple Dragon Rage Channelers and a Consider in hand. You got to snap this off, right?
Yes, that's great. Couldn't ask for more. Great mana. Spire Bluff Canal. Looks great. These are our 2 Phoenix players battling it out. There are 2 Phoenix decks in top 8.
And JohnLikesGames solidified a spot into the next Mythic Invitational qualifier in February.
Sweet. Skipping the line. No top 1200 for you.
All right, that's a Tormod's Crypt.
And of course, right on cue draws the Faithless Looting.
Yeah.
Crypt is fine though, but it's definitely, it is the most all-in of the graveyard hate effects. So you can't cycle it to draw a card. You can't exile a graveyard and draw a card with it. It just sort of sits there and gives you a one-shot effect that can be rebuilt upon. It's not Rest in Peace either, so you can do just enough to make him use it and then rebuild as well.
Yeah, it's only the card that you play if you care about your graveyard yourself. So that you won't play a card like Grafdigger's Cage.
Yeah, I mean even Soulguide Lantern though is targeted as well.
Yeah.
It just costs a little bit of mana rather than 0 mana.
A 0 mana spell doesn't really matter in this deck because like Arclight Phoenix usually only counts for instants and sorcery. So Tormod's Crypt being 0 mana is definitely a thing to consider. But I honestly think Soulguide Lantern is better. But Berserk's in the top 8 and I'm not.
Very true. Me either. So.
All right.
Consider not binning the looting, which is pretty interesting. Obviously, looting has value in the graveyard.
Here we go.
As well as.
Oh, I thought for sure we'd have a Dorat.
All right, so we're looking like we're just going to try and force the issue here on this Tormod's Crypt. Discard a Phoenix and a land, force the Crypt on the Arclight, and then start rebuilding next turn.
Yeah, and you have the perfect card to rebuild, which is another copy of Faithless Looting, and you can cast Stormwing Entity or Dorat, depending on which one you care about more. But I like this sequence for Dragozi for sure. Yep.
That's what I was saying about the Crypt too, where yes, the Crypt has now done its job, but it's gone. And there's plenty more to do. Plenty more to do.
And no Lurrus in that Izzet deck. There's a Crackling Drake.
That's true. All right. Drake's pretty good.
Drake's very good here. Drake can also attack through the Stormwing Entity.
So we see looting before Dorat.
Yeah, I think that means dead set on Stormwing Entity turn, right?
Yeah. I mean, Stormwing here, and then Steam Events tapped, and the next turn is Sprite Dragon plus Iteration's pretty good. So, yeah. A lot of sequencing in these decks. All the spells are cheap, so you got to figure out what order you're gonna play them in.
Shocking.
No. Shock in. So perhaps bluffing Mystical Dispute or something.
Mystical Dispute, yeah. I don't hate the bluff. I mean, the life matters a little bit, but it's going to be back and forth for sure. I think I like bluffing the Dispute and maybe make them change their play rather than saving 2 life there.
I think it's only good if you know exactly what you're stopping them from playing. You have a good read on their hand. Maybe second Drake.
That or second Drake and Berserksy calling the bluff.
Casting spell anyway.
Yep, Berserksy says call.
Yeah, you got nothing. It did keep the Crackling Drake home, however. So couldn't attack into the Stormwing for fear of a op or something like that to make it a 4/4 and trade. So that's also part of the value too.
Quick question in chat: don't you need steps to bluff the dispute there? Stops, I mean. You don't, because the dispute only stops if your opponent's in the middle of casting a spell on the stack. So it's going to go straight through if the opponent's not casting anything. Even if you have the dispute in hand. There's a Dora as a 2/2, 4/4 Stormwing entity. Do you like this attack?
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, because if this Crackling Drake blocks the Dorat to protect it against any spell, then you can just Spike Field the Crackling Drake.
Yep. So the upside is huge, and then if blocked with Stormwing, it's totally fine. Just cast Consider, make the trade, get it for 5. Feels great to me. Feels great. There's a very real chance that the Drake might block also, but we're gonna see. I
don't know the point of exiling Stormwing Entity. They can't bring it back anyway.
Yeah, I maybe just forgot the trigger on the Sprite Dragon, but sure.
Because that could be important down the line for
killing a token,
killing a token, or killing the opponent's perfect pet.
Yep. I think a slight misstep there from Dragosi, but
or even using a removal spell on a Phoenix and killing it with an Unholy Heat.
Yep.
Then it can get exiled.
So Saheeli comes down and makes token. It's important to note that Saheeli can copy Crackling Drake onto these tokens, which is awesome. But of course, it's currently summoning 6. That would be a next turn kind of play.
It'll be cool to be able to Spike Field that 1/1 in response to the ability.
Very true. Very true.
All right, maybe there's bigger plans for this Consider. Maybe Dragosi considering other options.
Other options?
I didn't mean it like that, but there you go. Nice catch. Okay, so we have Pillar of Flame, which can do the same thing. So obviously, it's the better play if you know there's another removal spell coming off the top, obviously. Here we go. Spins a land. As Express Federation, super strong.
Pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
So this could be a flashback looting.
I guess you could double Pillar the Crackles.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just like land, flashback looting, and then Phoenix, right?
You could do a ton of damage if you Pillar base, though. That was a lot of damage if you pillared base.
Get it for 7. Big chunk. Kill the most important creature. Now the fear here is that some like a second Drake comes down and gets to be copied or something like that. But now the threat's pretty good here.
Yeah, second Drake coming down and copied is a bad thing, of course. There's a Phoenix that could get copied. 6 damage could come through, but incentivized to keep Arclight Phoenix back, probably.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, that's a pretty big one.
Wow.
So now Dragosi can flashback a looting here and try and spike away a 1-mana spell.
All right, if Dragosi gets a 1-mana spell, it would be amazing. Negate. Card you don't see every day.
Yeah, that's a little surprising. All right, well,
here we go.
Still love looting here.
All right, 1-mana spell. That is a 1-mana spell, okay? I didn't specify 1-minute instant or sorcery.
Correct.
I don't really know if I like playing that pre-combat. I guess it doesn't really matter, but it could influence a decision, maybe.
Strong agree.
All right, here's my flyers, and you don't have any. What's your draw step, Reserxy?
It's the big draw step.
That is a flyer.
Is passable. Both players on basically nothing.
You could make a 1/1 into a 3/3 Dragon Rage Channeler. If you'd like.
Yeah, Saheeli's not doing much here. I'm pretty cool with just getting it for 3 here. It's very, very reasonable. Tokens ain't doing much anyway. Saheeli's not doing much anyway. Berserky is low enough where a yeah, okay, never mind. Sure.
It's a pretty good draw, but it's not an instant or sorcery. So you're going to get a trade off of this Dragon Rage Channeler on one of them, probably Entity, and then cast another Entity hardcast, which is still very
You can't
good.
block Entity here. You can't risk an op or something like that winning the combat, I don't think. So
yeah, I mean, unless Berserky says, well, I'm far enough behind anyway, But I guess that's too much, right?
Yeah, so double Stormwing here probably locks it up.
Oh, Expressive Iteration
locks it up.
Yeah, Expressive Iteration might do the trick here. Depends on what this draw is, though. If it's another Crackling Drake, it could be pretty strong.
Like iteration into like, I don't even know. Iteration into Crackling Drake, land, and a removal spell. Maybe.
All right, this is going to be too hot to handle here for Berserksea, and Dragosi might win this 2-0. Berserksea has top eighted another Stream League in the past with Rhodes.
Oh, good draw.
Oh yeah, we knew that was there.
All right. Listen,
what a great
not
draw!
False,
oh
okay,
God.
It was still a good draw.
You're not lying.
All right, and that is lethal.
Wow, these two matches in the top 8 have been lopsided and the matches that we've covered during Swiss were not lopsided.
Yeah, well, we're trimming the fat here. We're getting right to the important matches. Top 4. Let's go.
At least we're covering as many matches as possible.
That is true. We get the variety pack. Get the variety pack. I would say it's looking pretty good this game for our control player. The trifecta of Planeswalkers in play. Divine Purge seems pretty good in this matchup.
All right, Divine Purge is very good. It also gets around Karametra's Blessing and things like that, which is also powerful. 3 Planeswalkers on the battlefield. Narset, super good against this card, Storm Chaser Drake. Unable to draw cards off of it. We have a Commit, a Cleansing Nova. In the driver's seat if you're Opumpa. Opumpa is down a game. So we're going to get a game 3 if this game ends how we think it's going to.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing here is just Narset. You know, without the ability to have velocity and keep things rocking and rolling on Adamant's side, I just don't see a way to overcome this board state.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
It's very.
Yep, we had a little bit of time in Historic with only 1 Teferi being on the battlefield in blue-white control decks, and now there's 2 again.
Back to 2. All right, so there's your Shark type, but also just gonna cast it. Oh man, yeah, this is
oh yeah,
wowies.
When Twitch chat gets what they want, Jim.
Yeah, never a good time. It's never a good time.
I bet they're down there like little minions in Twitch chat. Hard cast.
Yeah, they do like hard casting Shark type. That is definitely for sure.
Listen, you don't play blue-white control and not hard cast Shark type, and you'll hear me say that a lot. Okay. What's happening here? Dovin's Veto, maybe?
I mean, this is post-sideboard, so good game. I mean, Adamant, I'm sure, has some sort of soft removal spells in the sideboard. Take a little look over here.
Adamant is not the person to do the good game debate. And good game...
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
I mean,
not too much on the board for
Adamant.
Adamant. 2 Mystical Disputes and a Test of Talents, and then 2 Spell Pierce main. So there is some interaction as far as the stack goes, but...
So this tells me that Adam just really doesn't have anything.
Gonna keep going, though.
Usually I'm a fan of doing the good game when you immediately concede afterwards, but continuing to play here.
Yep. I agree. The game is pretty over.
The game is also good, though. All right, here we go. Seal away. Doesn't quite work on the Storm Chaser.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Barry says I've done the hero thing before.
Let's skip.
That's true.
I've done it before. They got banned. They got nerfed.
Done the hero thing before. Stopped doing the hero thing, and then came back to be the hero we always wanted.
Yep. We also have Commit plus Narset on tap here too. So. Not much analysis to be done here, honestly. There are a lot of Planeswalkers in play and a lot of cards in hand, and no draws with a Narset. Commit, Seal Away, Divine Purge. Just everything. Just actual everything.
Yep. At this point, do you just keep playing if you're Adam, or do you like concede to game 3? Okay, they answered my question.
Yeah, I mean, literally no chance to win. So maybe you want to burn down the control player's clock a little bit, but they seem both like they're both pretty high. So.
All right, here we didn't put timely reinforcements in. Rest in Peace isn't in against the Lurrus deck post board. So do we change the configuration or do we leave it the same?
No, I think this is great. Love Steal Away, love Divine Purge. Rest in Peace for Lurrus seems it's only good against literally the card Lurrus, which seems unnecessary. Timely, not really about like stemming the beats, it's more about like stopping Adamant from doing the thing he's trying to do. If Adamant does what he wants to do, it's going to be 50 damage, not 20 damage exactly. So,
right. Also, I don't know. I kind of like a one of Rest in Peace against Lurrus because they always have Lurrus in hand. It's not like you're hoping that they're going to draw it. They always have it.
Yeah, but it's just like Lurrus is not going to matter at such a later point in the game that at that point the game feels somewhat decided already.
That's true.
I don't know. I don't think having a dead card is worth it. There's plenty of other ways in his deck to kill a Lurrus or counter a Lurrus. Whoa, doggy.
We'll try killing Lurrus with a dog on the board. Well, I mean, Divine Purge does that. Alright, that's a good 1-2 punch here to start off the game for Adam. This might have been how Adam pulled out game 1.
Yeah, much better start for Adam here, and then hand is only okay for our control player.
Now, the last match we cover, the winner of it will get a winner's interview. So we'll get a chance to interview them together, Jen.
Sweet. No auras. Just getting in for 3.
No, another savior. I guess not
this
playing around Divine Purge.
This plays well against Wrath of God, but not so good against Divine Purge, yeah.
This could be a really short game.
Yeah, I mean, we could see Shark Typhoon cycle for 1 here to block the Drake if the Drake comes in by itself with no augmentation. That is shields down, but cycling Shark to kill a Selfless Savior seems pretty good.
Either that or kill the Drake.
Well, it's gonna kill the dog anyway because the dog they'll sack the dog.
Right. Taking it.
All right. I'm not sure what Adam will be playing this turn that needs to be countered, but also drawing 2 cards is pretty good here too. So, and so many cards in hand. I would be surprised to see a Spell Pierce here, honestly.
All right. Is there a Mystical Dispute / Dovin's Veto somewhere? Well, I mean, I meant for Adam.
Right. Yes. There's one somewhere.
Okay, you answered my question. Yeah. Thank you.
All right,
yes,
so yeah, and I guess now that the thing is that Adam's sort of not even playing the Aura game right now. I mean, Adam probably has a Dispute or a Spell Pierce kind of card in hand. Just play into the board, just attack the board.
I mean, for not playing the Aura game, I mean, Upumpa's at 12.
Yeah, exactly. Just playing the sort of like fish beatdown kind of game. So Shark Typhoon for 2 here can block the Saviors successfully, which is pretty sweet.
Well, I guess that's what he's going for. Well, can you imagine if Adam just slams Teferi Time Raveler on his side? He's not going to be playing it, but it would be cool.
Yeah, that would be very good, but unfortunately no Teferis for Adam.
Bounce the Shark, draw a card.
All right, what's the thought? What's the thought here?
Maybe there's a Karametra's Blessing in hand that there was a stop there for.
Possible.
Maybe he adds back the Lurrus using all the white mana, keeps up a Spell Pierce or a Mystical Dispute.
Yeah, I think it would be somewhat surprising to not see Lurrus added here, so I agree with that. So no Lurrus could mean Dispute plus Blessing.
It could also
mean Blessing. A lot of the benefits of Blessing come from it being Enchanted Creature. There are 2 Shajiri Shelters in his deck list also. So
okay, it could mean that. It could also mean Dovin's Veto potentially.
Yep.
All that glitters in the Drake can pay for dispute. Good all that glitters. Well, it's not too good, but you need one more aura to make it, like, pretty good.
Pretty interesting spot here. Could cast Dispute and make them tap the mana for it, and then untap Teferi, bounce it. And because Teferi is buffed now, it would have 2 loyalty to survive the Savior. I think I kind of like the Dispute there, honestly.
If Dispute happens and Adam has something, he just lets the all that glitters get countered, though, and it just adds Luris. Or something like that. Or maybe he doesn't add Luris and holds up the counterspell. Like, maybe it's just like, damned if you do, damned if you don't type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, so you see...
Dark Typhoon for 3.
This is in the end step, so no attack from the Drake.
This is about as good of a spot as you can hope to be in if you're in Pumpa, right? There's no, like, massive drawing happening on Adam's side and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, playing a pretty fair game, and these Sharks are perfect. Like, the literal perfect card to have. Can't be countered, flying blockers. I'm just flush of resources here.
Could cast Narset to stop the draw off Storm Chaser Drake and still hold up the dispute.
Seems great to me.
And also can pay for a dispute if there's a dispute on Adam's side as well. Just doesn't really play around Dovin's veto, but what does anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a totally fine spot to let it ride. Trading resources now is actively good for our control player.
What does Adam have? This is for locking up a Mythic Invitational Qualifier invite. And CoolStuffInc.com store credit.
Yeah, Adam's been leaving this mana up now for multiple turns.
Spell Pierce. 2 Spell Pierces?
Mind and body should move in unison.
Okay.
Like wind and
Ours is going down.
Before action.
I'm using here how Divine Purge is good, but also kills the Sharks too, because normally Purge is good when your board is not stable, but the board is surprisingly stable right now.
I don't know. I think I'd go with Teferi. But Divine Purge lets them cast their Savior and the Stormtrigger Drake again, and then also exiles your Sharks.
Correct. Those Sharks ain't coming back. Yeah, I mean, taking a safer line here, having Divine Purge in case things go wrong. This is a turn where a control player is tapped out, so things go wrong this turn, Purge can clean it up.
Maybe this is a little bit of a bait into playing a couple things, but not really, because the Divine Purge is known about, so there's no way that Adam plays a bunch of things here.
Right. 7 cards in hand, too. A lot of cards. A lot of cards.
Yeah, on Adam's side, looking at the 1 Divine Purge and 6 other cards, you gotta be pretty scared, right?
Yeah, I mean, this game started out pretty well. We're going to see a Shelter.
No drawing here.
So, Pro Blue can kill Narset.
Yep.
Which is a start, but Narset already got a card, you know?
I guess it does. It does make Storm Chaser Drake much better, but there's also Teferi that can come down and bounce it. A lot of things can happen here.
I mean, Adam Ant's hand still seems very reactive, based on the fact that he hasn't really done anything this game.
Yep.
So, but of course, the problem is a lot of Adam's reactive cards are Spell Pierce, Mystical Dispute, these soft counter spells. As the game goes on, they get worse and worse.
And by making sure that there's plenty of lands to make the land drops, adding Luris back, saying, okay, I'm going to go shields down this turn, making it cast Teferi Time Raveler or Teferi Hero of Dominaria, super good.
Yeah.
Now, the Storm Chaser Drake can get blocked, or it can get bounced, draw an additional card, hold up Mystical Dispute, still keep the Sharks. Upumpa's position is pretty unbeatable right now, unless Adam has just a crazy amount of, like 3 counters or something in hand, right?
Yeah, this is getting better and better for our control player, for sure.
This might knock one of the auras out of the top 8. There are 2 auras in top 8 right now.
It's funny because, you know, a lot of lands in hand for our control player. You know, a little bit flooded here, but just has got the lands in play, got things going. So Insight resolves, but doesn't really help that much. Still can't get past this this shark.
Yeah, what's the way out here for Adam, you think?
It's tough, you know. Make it big and protect it for a turn or two, but with the Divine Purge available, also another. Oh my God, there is none.
Yeah, with Teferi, you can plusing here. You can also Divine Purge on their end step.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there was one, but now with the Purge and the Absence has also been drawn. You know, the problem is that the longer a game goes, Adam's cards just get worse and worse. Spell Pierce, Mystical Dispute. We're in the point in the game now where these cards just don't do anything. Yep. They're just blanks, you know? All right. Yeah, I mean, Divine Purge and Instant Speed is pretty gross. There's an Obsession, but...
Five mana available. Fateful Absence can come down targeting Storm Chaser Drake. I think the only realistic chance for Pumbaa to lose is to have a couple Karametra's Blessings followed by like a couple like Dovin's Vetoes for Divine Purge. Because Divine Purge is going to be the thing that gets rid of Storm Chaser Drake. That doesn't give Adam the ability to use Karametra's Blessing. So if Adam had an out, it would be countering both purges and having like a couple Karametra's Blessing.
That's a lot to ask.
That's a lot to ask, but like, and it's pretty unreasonable. But can it happen? We've seen crazier things in this tournament already.
Yeah, that's you know, for sure. That is definitely the path to victory. Hushbringer.
Well, that's not one of the cards that I just mentioned.
That is true. That's a card that's actually actively bad against Divine Purge, given the current board state.
Very bad.
And these sharks are just standing tall. You know, they haven't really attacked. They've just, all right, there's the Obsession.
I'm pretty sure the sharks have saved like 20 damage already.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
More than that.
Because Adam has not been able to get this Drake big enough to attack through them.
Yep, like if the sharks hadn't been here, the Divine Purges would have had to be fired off already. And then at that point, there's no sharks against a Storm Chaser Drake and a Hushbringer.
Yep.
But then again, there's Fateful Absence, there's Teferi that can bounce one, cast a second Teferi, bounce another one, do whatever. The world is your oyster if you're a Pumbaa, and this is in Game 3 and exactly the position where you want to be in this point in the game.
Yeah, Planeswalker is defended by Instant Speed Divine Purge. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think a lot of players didn't really miss the Fairy Time Traveler cast sorcery that should never be used as an instant at the end of turn, especially a sweeper.
All right, let's add an Archmage's Charm to the list of things Adam Ant's got to get through here.
What else would you like to add, Jim? What else can we have for a Pumbaa's hand to make it even better?
It's hard for there to be more, honestly. And we see the attack from the Sharks here, basically saying, "All right, I'll purge you." Sure.
How about a Teferi Hero of Dominaria?
We're gonna see this purge in the. Oh, so the point of this purge now is that Adam can't play spells right now. So the new templating on Teferi, if the purge is cast on Adam's turn, Adam can play spells instant speed, so it can be countered. So I'm just gonna take it now, wipe the board, and looking tough here. Looking tough. So 3-mana Savior, 4-mana Hushbringer, 4-mana Stormcast Drake. There's a lot of mana for Adam here, so we can recast these things.
Divine Purge is a huge upgrade for these decks, especially in Historic. That usually you had to use a card like Settle the Wreckage to do Mass Exile, or a card like Wrath of God, which Selfless Savior would stop.
Not the second Divine Purge.
But Divine Purge just like filling the role of a catch-all that doesn't destroy, which makes it so much better against Selfless Savior.
Yeah. How about another Purge? That Selfless Savior costs 5 now.
Have you ever cast a 5-mana Selfless Savior?
I have not, and I'm planning on keeping it that way.
How about a 7-mana Faithless Looting?
That one definitely not. That is no way, no how. Oh, we're going game close time? Wow. All right. I didn't think it was game close time.
Well, listen, it's closing time. The only thing different about this is we're not playing the song.
You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. So, of course, great run for Adamant. Top 8's a great finish.
Okay. What else comes down?
Yeah, we've got...
Savior? Another Divine Purge? This is...
Cast Divine Purge, activate Hall of the Storm Giants. Pretty good. Pretty good.
And also,
I think
can't stop it.
There, even though we saw the Hall attack last turn, it doesn't need to attack. There's no reason for our control player to try and close this game out. You can just chill, draw cards, keep doing stuff.
Well, that would be what a control player would do. It's better to draw cards than it is to win the game. But Upumpa just likes to win the game and not draw cards.
Boring.
Okay, now Adam gives the good game. Watch. You want to see the Spell Pierce? Oh, yeah, he can't even use Spell Pierce because his Fairy Time Revelers on the board. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I think we're done. If we weren't done 8 turns ago, we're definitely done now.
Yeah. All the Storm Giants coming across.
Are we in a control meta now, Jim, or did these control decks just not face up against the Golgari food deck fast enough?
Yeah, I mean, I think that with Divine Purge, this matchup seems pretty good for the control deck. You know, definitely, you know, Key Spell Pierces. I would say Adam's hand didn't seem great in that game, but Divine Purge is so cheap that you can play it with counter spells or with other things and stuff like that, and it just is so effective against Selfless Savior.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. The Geist Blaster has the ability to discard cards and draw new cards, I believe, which would be very, very good here as far as getting rid of this 4th extraneous land.
I believe it does seek an instant or sorcery.
Correct, yeah. And then being on the play is also really, really good, in case you were wondering. So, still pretty worth it, I think. Yeah, Geist Blaster's a solid card. Discard a land, you draw a guaranteed spell.
It'll add at the stage, yep.
Pretty good, yeah. And Prowess also is a threat. Oh my god. Search for Azcanta, great magic card. I love the card. Not so good here. This is going to be a pretty short game.
Wow. Upumpa could go to, like, less than 10 here.
Yeah. We see Light Up a Stage, Prowess. Okay.
No, that's a Soulscar Mage and Electrostatic Blast for next turn.
Yep, so holding back a Soulscar Mage in case they have Divine Purge, smart. And our control player is already at 7.
It's turn 2 of the game, Jim.
They have not played their 3rd land yet. This is what we were saying about needing to deal with these creatures, you know, like... Alright, there's the Divine Purge, but it's just too late.
It gives the Geist Blaster a new card to draw, too.
Yeah. Alright, so now it's 5 and a creature in play, and just so much work to do for our control player.
And we already have, what, 4 damage in hand?
It's 5 damage in hand, a trigger up the blast, Lava Runner has haste. Actually, it comes in tapped, I guess, but yeah, just a lot of stuff here.
You would just hit for 1, and then Static Discharge plus Electrostatic Blast in, like, end step if they go for a fire off a 4-mana spell or something. Up.
That's game.
Here we go.
Yeah, so as I said, cheap removal spells for the creatures, very, very necessary.
Not a land, though.
Oh, that's a little awkward. Okay. So, I like Light Up Stage again. It's fine. There are 2.
Wow.
Missed again. Okay.
Whoa. Now you can counter a burn spell?
Yeah, I mean, there's still just no chance for a control player to ever win this game, because, like, even a 3-mana Skewer the Critics here has to be countered, and then the Blast has to be countered, and then the Geist Blaster has to be killed. You know, just, like, just so much stuff. Like, there only are so many counterspells in his deck regardless, you know?
Like, this has to be draw a counterspell off the shark deck right now.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. If our control player is already, like, desperate digging for a counterspell there, what about next turn? And the turn after? And the turn after? And the turn after? You know, like... So even though our burn player bricked off a little bit on the light-up stages there, I think that game wasn't even close. Yeah. So, once again, our control player has 2 timely reinforcements on the board. Probably has to draw one of them to win this match. This burn deck's sweet.
Oh yeah, it's better than I thought it was going to be, for sure.
Yeah, I would say it is definitely missing another good 1-drop. You know, Lava Runners, it's fine, it's okay, but
it's missing the haste prowess creature, right? Yeah,
Monastery Sister would be pretty ideal. Would be pretty ideal.
How about Ragavan?
That one would be pretty good. I think that Ragavan honestly would be worse in this deck than Soulscar Mage. So like that would make it the second best 1-drop, not the first best 1-drop.
Right.
Because you're just so focused on actually dealing damage.
Yep.
I might be underselling it a little bit though. Ragavan's obviously pretty good, but you're not really using the mana for much, nor the cards for much either. You just want to get it and kill your opponent, you know?
It is a haste threat and not on turn 1, and it also is a 2/1 for 1.
Yeah, I mean, it being a Savannah Lion is the most important part, you know, but even then, like, the other parts of the card aren't as good or useful.
Right. We could see... I mean, I would assume that we get Swift Spear at some point for Historic, especially when they start putting other cards from... Doesn't Pioneer have Swift Spear?
Yeah, it's in Pioneer. So.
Yeah. So it's going to come over eventually, it's just a matter of when. And then you got to watch out for Burn being one of the best decks, maybe.
Yeah.
Being with Swift Spear in the game and Soulscar Mage. The only thing stopping it would be like, is Bolt ever going to be in Historic? I don't even know the answer to that. Probably not.
I would say no. Yeah, it's too ubiquitous. All right, great hand.
Wow.
Like I said, the game 1 where it's like, oh no, they lost their great hand. Like, it's just draw 1 mana creature and some lands and spells. You know, like your hand's great.
I wasn't exaggerating at all when I said super unfortunate. I would never do something like that for content. No.
Sure.
All right, so Soulscar Mage on the board. Whirling Vortex gets to trigger the Soulscar Mage. Attack in for 2. Deal wing 1 at the start of the turn.
Timely or bust here. No 2 mana removal spell for the 1-drop, so Timely makes this a game. Without Timely, I don't think this is even a game. Brought in Fry again. I don't like bringing in Fry here at all. I kind of hate it, actually. The burn deck needs to deal damage. Kill your opponent. Play your burn spells and kill your opponent. You know?
I think I might have liked a Wizard's Lightning to the face at some point. Okay, here we go.
Sure. And again, Absence is, you know, it killed the creature, but added 2-for-1 to the burn player. Now, 14 is, you know, 13. It's a decent amount to go into turn 4 with, but oh my god, Narset.
Look at Fry.
Well, like, you know, who cares about Narset? Just kill your opponent. You know, that's the point. Like, blast them, skewer them, draw a card with the clue. They found it timely. All right, that's the important card. But now the Vortex is up and Buttons knows about it.
Well, timely is nullified a little bit by Rolling Vortex.
Well, it's the 6 life is the part that matters, you know.
Well, you can stop them from gaining the life.
Correct. That's what I mean. Yeah. And there aren't any creatures in play anywhere now. And now Buttons might not even play the Soulscar Mage.
Yep.
Do we not see the blast on end step? Did I miss that? Was there not a mana for it?
I think you drew a card from the clue, right?
Oh, the clue instead of blasting. That's interesting. I would like to see like to have seen blast there. Which why you know you're sure it's gonna resolve.
Yeah.
And then this turn could have been like discharge, trigger blast, get more stuff going. Clue's not going anywhere, you know?
Could go somewhere to a Divine Purge, I guess.
That is true. That is true. Totally true. Fun synergy. Give your opponent a clue and just take it away.
Yeah, that's a synergy that is a thing for sure. Minusing Narset here, what do we find? Aether Gust.
Gust. Okay.
Yeah.
That plays.
I mean, eventually Apumpa's going to die to this Rolling Vortex if it doesn't exit the battlefield at some point by the Aether Gust.
So you could see Aether Gust shift the Vortex into a Timely. This is actually a pretty good sequence here. So, counter spell. We'll see some triggers anyway. More blasts. But if we see end step Aether Gust into Timely for 6 life, that's pretty big.
I think that's what it's going to be.
Yep.
Oh, really strong here. And I was asking before the match, what does it take for Blue-White to win? And this is one of the sequences that does that, gaining a bunch of life off of Timely Reinforcements.
For sure.
A 6 life will go a long way.
Yep. Now, no creatures, though, so now Soulscar Mages is free to play.
Oh, getting in with Den of the Bugbear.
All right. Take your damage where you can get it. So, free 4 damage here, and a Goblin in play. Back to 10.
I actually kind of like that play.
Yeah, I actually like it a lot, too.
I didn't even think about it. I don't know why. I just thought about playing cards in hand, not activating the Den of the Bugbear.
Yep. It's free damage. Just like tap 5, deal 4, put a Goblin in play.
I love how it just leaves the creature on board, too. You just always get it. A lot of effects like that, like a Karazev that makes the Ragavan token, it like leaves the battlefield at the end of combat or at the end of turn.
Yep.
But this Den of the Bugbear keeps the creature, which is very relevant.
All right, there's the Goblin. Start burning. Blast
that
trigger.
Electrostatic Blast.
Electrostatic Blast is so good. It's just such a freaking good card.
Oh my gosh. He does skewer the critics, put him down to 3 already?
Yep.
I mean, even Geist Blaster could get another skewer. So, like, now the counterspells have to start rolling out.
Yep.
Here we go.
And now we're at the point where every Lava Spike needs to be countered. You can't counter every spell. Here comes the Vortex. I love not casting Soulscar there. No point to play into Sweeper and leave Vortex activation up.
Just for
Flashback on
second
timely. I'm sorry, casting Timely, probably the only way back in this game. This game's over.
Wow.
I'm known for my
Wow, plussing.
timing. Let's skip to the good part.
Can't hold up a counterspell here. I mean, I guess you can hold up an Aether Gust.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Aether Gust or Absence for the Den of the Bugbear, if that's a possibility, but...
Oh my gosh, seeing Mono Red in the finals is insane if Mono Red pulls this one out.
Alright. Vortex.
Oh,
Lava Runner with haste. Looking pretty good.
Fry can get rid of Teferi, not like it matters, but...
That's what I'm saying. The Fry is just terrible to me. I'm sorry. I just think it's like, discard the Fry to the Geist Blaster and draw an actual burn spell.
Any McDonald's lovers in chat? What do you think of fries? Nice, sweet, salty fries.
Down to 2. Geist Blast is
Blaster.
Fry away. Go find me a real burn spell, please.
Oh my gosh.
Soulscar Mage? Sure, whatever.
There we got it! There we go! The Seeking Off Geist Blaster!
And there are 4 Jawari in this deck, so I don't necessarily hate just saying go here. Because if you play this as discharge and it gets countered, ooh, I don't like this.
Can't be countered.
Yeah, but now shields are down. So the way that our control player can get back into this game right now is like Divine Purge, Time Reinforcements, there's some sequence involving Timely. And now with the shields down on Vortex, that can actually happen where it couldn't happen before. I do not like this play from our Burn player on this turn.
Static Discharge is sorcery though.
Right, but you just leave the mana for Vortex. Just don't cast.
Right.
Don't cast Fry.
leave them
Like,
the out of
use the
Timely.
Fairy, whatever, sure. Draw a card, see what I care. You know, like
Right.
that's why I think Fry isn't a good card to bring in, because you don't really care about anything on the board at all. You know, it's not even like you need to push your creatures through like Shark Typhoons or whatever. Just like as long as your Lava Runner gets it for 4 damage, great. Perfect. Good
Wow,
job.
locking up top 2 mono red burn, beating out blue-white control. So let's go and see if Rotting Regisaur can take this one down.
Reggie's in play. I see a Reggie.
All right, Reggie's in play. Aetherboard's in play. We have a Hive of the Eye Tyrant, another Reggie in hand. Hagra Mauling can get rid of a blocker. 14 life on Dragozi's side. 12 life on Dragozi's side. There's the Unholy Heat.
You hate to see it. What were they thinking with Unholy Heat? What is this card? Come on.
Wow. Crunch for 9.
A red deck should not be able to kill a 6 toughest creature for 1 mana. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And the big 6/6 like Vigilance, Questing Beast type, whatever card they call Elder Gargaroth.
Yeah. Just too much.
Also, like in other formats like Modern, Unholy Heat kill like completely nullifying decks, like the the ramp deck, the green-red deck that the 6/6 thing, and it just kills it, and no one played the deck anymore for a while.
Yeah, it's just too much damage for 1 mana.
All right, so we have a Hagra Mauling in hand, and we could potentially play that tapped. Do we play Rotting Regisaur or Nighthawk Scavenger here? Do we like the life gain off the Scavenger, or do we want the 6 toughness?
It's a tough spot. I think killing Stormwing here isn't crazy. Just like kill Stormwing and say go. See if they draw a land for double spell next turn. Stormwing can do a lot of damage. So like if you play Scavenger and it gets bounced or killed, you just lose. So I like this play here from our black player.
Yeah, I mean, Amulet Titan is what I was thinking about. I promise you I didn't look up the card or anything. We have a Consider here in response.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of risk here to play this card on our Dragosi's turn, because it could end up being countered by something.
We are in game 3, so counter spells are definitely a thing.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
All right, that works.
I mean, we would love another mana to be able to cast Gifted Aetherborn plus Cry the Carnarium.
Still think this is well worth it. Now, important to note, did not play the Darcy in hand. So, has mana up here for something. I miss cool animations. Everyone, they used to have cool animations for stuff.
Like that one? Yeah, that was a great animation.
Yeah.
Remember Luminous Broodmoth's animation?
That was a cool one, too.
We also have the big hand sweeping across the battlefield.
That was the best one. That one's awesome. The first time I saw it, scared the crap out of me.
The first time I saw Broodmoth scared me.
Yeah. And now it's just like a shadow of a dragon flies over the board for half a second.
Yep.
It's disappointing. Disappointing.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a Knight of the Ebon Legion drawn, which isn't the worst. Nighthawk Scavenger plus Nighthawk Scavenger or Rotting Regisaur plus Knight of the Ebon Legion is a play we can do here.
Yeah. The Scavenger is a 5/3. It is quite big.
And the lifelink is huge.
Correct. This is the kind of spot where Scavenger's been cast. If it's removed here, it's pretty bad for our black player. If it lives, it's pretty good. Of course, Darcy has to attack. And trading blows, 6 damage from Darcy, 5 damage and 5 life gain from Scavenger's pretty good for our black player. All right, there goes a Phoenix to the bin. We see another Unholy Heat.
All right, like. Do you block this if you're JohnLikesGames, or do you not block?
I don't think so. I mean, it's obviously a pretty good trade. By blocking there, you're basically saying, I want to win the long game here. And the cantrip deck, it's pretty good at finding things to do, I don't know. I don't know if I like that. If the channelers didn't have to attack, and there was a choice to be made there, maybe I'm a little more about it, but... Alright, so there's Reggie. Knights in play also.
If there's not another Unholy Heat here, we can see another Rotting Regisaur victory.
Reggie does rumble. Any land drawn turns on Tyrant. Also, the mana can pump the Knight in play.
Also, pumping Knight is lethal. Exactly 11.
Yep. So, Reggie big.
We saw how the Artifact deck lost to Reggie being big.
Man, are we going to have a freaking Skewer the Critics versus Rotting Regisaur finals? That's I don't even know if you can ask for more than that, honestly.
And there was good decks in the finals too. There was 4 Azorius decks in the finals, and none of them are going to make the finals. Or in the top 8, none of them are going to make the finals.
Yep. Two auras, 1 control, 1 affinity. Ooh, that's a dirty finale.
That is a really dirty finale. Oh my, that's the worst thing possible actually for. Okay, if I could script this and I say what is the worst possible turn that could happen, I would do what just happened.
Yeah, that was it. All right. I mean, Aetherborn's pretty good, and the Hive is also pretty good. So as far as racing goes, on board, Pummeler's still ahead, but multiple cards in hand for Dragosi.
That's another Phoenix in the bin. No more spells? A land.
Yeah, that's kind of... So it means that the cards in hand for Dragosi must be really good, because hard casting Phoenix is totally fine here.
This will get rid of the Phoenix and gain 2 life.
Yeah, this is a big swing. The race is obviously in Pummeler's favor, so whatever cards Dragosi kept were better than hard casting Phoenix. Let's see what they are.
I think one of the best cards for Pummeler to draw is... There's no 1-mana card in his deck that can kill a Phoenix. Okay, a land is not one of those cards.
Yeah, I mean, still just a really good spot, though. I mean,
Oh, for sure.
Hive gets in. I don't know if like Aetherborn can
I don't know. I
injure
think
us.
that might have just been like an attack all bug there. Not bug, but just like instinctively press attack all.
I mean, they didn't pause afterwards. It's not like they were like, oh no. So trading Aetherborn for Phoenix here. I mean, getting a few life, sure, but I don't know if I like this play.
I mean, it guarantees. Well, even with not attacking with Aetherborn, they still go to 3 with the Menace. So, well, I mean, if the Hive of the Eye Tyrant can't be beaten here, Hive of the Eye Tyrant's going to take the game in game 3. Oh my gosh,
Shock
going
in
to
the land.
Hive for game?
Shock in the land feels like a scoop to me.
Yeah, it does.
Hive in?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, is it lethal?
All right. Make sure you get that Phoenix on the way out, too, all right?
Oh my gosh.
Mono black versus mono red. Welcome to your newest Dwarf metagame, folks. Forget the Phoenix deck, forget the Fairy. It's all about Skewer the Critics and Phyrexian Obliterator. All right, let's go. Let's get in this game and see how it goes.
I'm excited about this. Now, Burn is on the play, since I believe Burn did go undefeated or X1 in Swiss.
I've seen better hands. Oh, I'm sorry. You're watching the mono black side. I have the Burn side.
I should be watching Burn. Where's my Burn player at?
I don't know, but you missed a pretty good 7-card hand. It was 4 Mountains, 2 Den of the Bugbear, 1 Ramonette Bruins. So I'm laughing over here, and Chad has no idea what's going on. Yeah.
I was wondering what you had going on too, but here we go.
So you get a mulligan to 6 here. Now, however, this is a big play draw game because if this Lava Runner can get in here for light up a stage, it's huge. If it can't, big trouble. Big trouble on the stack.
Oh, here we go.
All right. Whew.
Oh.
All right.
I mean, killing that creature turn 1 was super important.
Yeah, super important. So there's a Knight.
All right, this left static blast is gonna be nice, and then the static discharge gets to go face, and then the blast will get a land drop.
Yeah, looking like it. Gonna think for a bit here now.
Not utilizing the blast yet. You're gonna have to think about that in this matchup, right? You're not exactly just going to kill them right away like you are against the control deck, right?
Yeah, I love Electrostatic Blast. Not only is it a very good card, I love the play patterns. It really makes you have to plan out your next turn. It's super cool. We're going to see nothing. So I think that this nothing plan is favoring our black player, giving them time to go play Obliterator at a pretty reasonable pace here. We will see some more damage. Now, the Discharge, that's pretty funny. So Static Discharge perpetually increases the damage of all of the discharges that are in your hand.
I believe it's
right?
graveyard.
Yeah, hand, library, and graveyard, but not exile. So the one that was in exile from the blast effect did not get the augmentation.
Here we go. Here's the 6. Can we out this?
Honestly, it's a lot of damage. So, like I said here, the burn deck can just ignore Reggie, go 4 to the face, fire up light up stage. No, gonna blast first. This is
maybe hold.
okay.
Maybe going for the light up the stage for next turn. Blast can cast. Can play random amount of runes, I guess.
Let's see here. So the cards on the left are the
blast.
Blast, and then the Skewer the Critics and the Soul Scar are the cards that are light up a stage.
Yep.
So ruins, yeah, there's ruins this turn, and then Soul Scar makes this turn, and then Skewer can happen next turn.
All right. Reggie is asking the question: can you deal with it? I actually really like casting Murderous Rider if I'm Pummeler as a 2/3 lifelinker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's 12 lifelinkers in this deck, so that's probably a bad sign for our burn player that was the worst card in hand to be discarded.
Yeah, if I'm the burn player, I'm like, yikes! What else is in their hand?
Okay, Sap Vitality, not bad, honestly.
Getting in
7,
for 7
also not
damage.
bad. All right, here we go. Flurry of burn spells.
Here we go. 9. 6 off the skewer. Oh no.
All right, well that's 6.
I mean, it doesn't take much for the mono-red deck to get enough damage. I mean, there could be a 2-mana spell and Den of the Bugbear per game. Oh, not anymore. There's a 2/3 lifelinker.
Yeah, that was Guy's Bowser's not bad, but yeah. So now, as I said, the lifelinkers. Now the next burn spell is to kill that lifelinker.
And it also, and then Frenzied has to chump.
Oh no!
Wait, that kills the lifelinker, and then Frenzied chumps the Rotting.
But then there's 6 damage still needs to be accounted for also. So Might just be one too many lands for Buttons here. Buttons also mulligan this game, too. I think one more spell does it for Buttons here. Yeah, gotta block. Gotta kill the Rider.
Alright, is there a lifelink blocker, and do we draw, like, what, a draw spell off the top? Oh my gosh, a Rotting Regisaur. Light up the stage!
Alright, that's it. That's the path.
Oh my gosh!
So close.
Oh,
So there were a lot of outs there.
Oh my gosh.
Tough game for Buttons. Tough game for Buttons. That mulligan hurt, and then a few too many lands. Just not enough. Just not enough.
You know what was the difference in that game? Turn 1
What?
Bloodchief's Thirst.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Wow.
And there are only 2 thirsts in the deck.
This
so
might be the
thirsts in 4
quickest
nights.
finals in the history of Stream Leagues, and this is the 8th one.
Yeah, it's funny because like that game was fast, but it was very, very close too. That was a very close game. You know, multiple things could have broken our burn player's way to win that one, even in Chase staring down 2 huge Reggies.
Wow. Now, what are you looking at as far as the mono-red game plan post board? Is this a Phoenix matchup so you can keep blocking Reggie and it keeps coming back?
I don't think so at all. This is a kill you before your stuff gets online kind of matchup. See, play with fire getting cut, interesting. The Ferocodon seemed very good to turn off the lifelinkers, which is great.
So if we don't bring Phoenix in against a matchup like this, when do we ever bring it in? We didn't bring it in against Control either.
Well, the thing is, this is a very different matchup because this is not like an aggro or mid-range matchup because they have Reggie and Obliterator, and you just can't ever beat those cards, you know? If they were just playing Gruul Spellbreaker and whatever, I mean, sure, you know, but you actually can't block Obliterator. It's just a 5/5 unblockable you can't kill.
Right.
So
not being able to block Obliterator is one thing, but also it just infinitely blocks Regisaur. But that's the reason why I was thinking it can also infinitely block Knight of the Ebon Legion. But maybe that's just not the game plan, right? You just want to kill them.
Correct. I think if you're in that stage of the game, the black deck is winning. All right, so here we go. Now this is an interesting one with Blast. Do you blast it now? Now you got to make sure your next spell you cast is going to be triggering the blast. You got to use the cards from it. So
here's the Gifted Aetherborn. There is a static discharge to kill it though, which is really strong.
So we probably see discharge to kill it here, and then we'll see our top 3 cards. See what turns up. Skewer, land, play with fire. Can't play Skewer though. So
that's a creature.
I don't think, I agree with that. I don't think you want it at this stage in the game. Now we're on turn 3. It's going to be a creature every turn for the black deck. Ooh, what is this card?
Subversive Acolyte.
2/3, pay 2, choose 1, activate once. Another lifelinker? I missed this one.
It's a 3/4 lifelinker for 2 additional mana.
Well, that's got to die too, so this is still pretty good though. Light up a stage, skewer the critics. There's a skewer. Take this thing out. The problem here is that there's no recurring damage source, and now these burn spells are getting split. There's, some going to face, some going to creatures. Pummeler's at 14 and playing Phyrexian Obliterator.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Mono black. Mono black.
So now, actually, hold on a second.
Wait, Soulscar Mage is actually really, really good against Obliterator.
Yeah, let me actually read Soulscar Mage here.
It turns it into -1/-1, and I don't think damage is even applied.
Correct. You are correct. Yeah, Soulscar Mage, but again, 5 points of non-combat damage is pretty tough to
got a Wizard's Lightning to Phyrexian Obliterator right now.
I don't agree at all.
No?
It's face. You're not trying to win the game on the board here. You're just trying to kill your opponent. I don't know if I agree with this. So now it's 2/2, but you still can't attack into it. And just less points of burn. I mean, so right now Pummeler would be at 9. Oh boy, this is gutsy. This is gutsy.
Oh man!
All right, just sending into the Obliterator. Got to sacrifice 3 permanents here.
The 1/1 token, I guess.
I don't know about this. Now what?
And both Reminath.
Like now what?
There's a
Murderous Rider still waiting to come here. Yeah, I appreciate the gusto, but I think the best planning is Obliterator.
No.
Yeah, you just got to ignore it.
Oh, man. Lifelink 2-3 getting in for 2 more. Eventually, Pomo's going to have 15 life.
Right. Yeah, but lifelink is a big deal, too.
Oh, tap land. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, I mean, trying to take down the Obliterator by going straight into it is a tough play.
Oh, second God. Obliterator. Oh,
tough place to be.
Is Obliterator going to win the finals? Please tell me Obliterator wins the finals.
I'm not seeing a way out here. Got to kill the lifelinker, take 5. You're on a 3-turn clock. Yeah, I don't know what the path to victory is here anymore.
Oh my gosh. JohnLikesGames. DGen Gaming Creator. By the way, type in !DGen in the chat to look at all the DGen creators. But wow.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my gosh, the concede button. Oh,
I mean, great run for buttons, but Pummeler takes it down. Mono black. That was cool.
Wow.
That was cool.
The definition of the things you love to see.
Yeah, I mean, if you told me this morning, hey, Jim, we're going to cast Phyrexian Obliterator versus Skewer the Critics in the finals, are you okay with that? I would have said, I'm going to go eat lunch. Skip the finals here. I was going to skip right to it. I'm not even going to do the rest of the tournament. So, super awesome stuff. Super awesome games.
All right. It is time to tell us about your tournament experience, John. JohnLikesGames, winner of Stream League 8. I can't wait to enshrine you into the Stream League Hall of Fame with none other than Rotting Regisaur and Phyrexian Obliterator. What do you have to say? How was your tournament experience in Swiss? Let's start out with Swiss.
Okay, so my tournament experience in Swiss, you'll find is pretty extensive, actually. I was in Stream League 6, I believe. Wasn't I? I think?
I believe you were, yes.
And took 9th. Lost on tiebreakers. And that's it. So, that's it.
There you go. Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't even have a DCI number. I've never been to a Friday Night Magic. You know,
Really?
I've been playing since 1998. But so I mean, I've played a lot of games of Magic, but I've always kind of lived kind of a ways from metropolitan area. I'm actually closer now than I've ever been in my life to a local gaming store, but it's still, you know, whatever, 35 or 40 minutes away. So I just never make it out. So, you know, obviously I've been following folks like Jim Davis for ages. I mean, I remember watching Star City games on the weekends and whatever, this would be 2014, 2015, I don't know, something like that. Just all weekend long and stuff. So I'm very familiar with tournament Magic, but obviously never, you know.
Oh yeah.
I've never really.
Jim, do you have anything to add on to asking about JohnLikesGames or noting about the performance?
So yeah, your deck seems really, really good at killing creatures and winning creature matchups. Obviously, Obliterator, one of those cards where some decks see it and they're just like, I can't win anymore. But some decks can just wrath it and stuff like that too. So,
That's true.
Against any control decks, and how'd that go for you?
Well, and see, you know, I'm not going to lie. That was the plan that I had going into this tournament was dodge the control matchup. And it worked well. So, you know, yeah, as far as the tournament, like I ended up playing against Dragosi twice. You folks saw this one closing up the in the top 4 there. But I also played Buttons twice, and Buttons was my only loss. So needless to say, coming into the finals, I was terrified. I feel like my mono red matchup's pretty good. I mean, if you look at the list, there's more lifelink than any one deck has any right to have, right? And as you mentioned, like one of the cards you already actually even brought up was Sap Vitality, and I'm telling you, the card's a hero in decks that want it. Don't just jam it in any old deck with swamps, because black is a real cost. But like giving +3/+0 to Murderous Riders in my hand, doing, you know, +3/+0 to the Nighthawk Scavenger, believe it or not, comes up pretty often. You know, if you're playing Historic, you have to account for the graveyard, right? So the Nighthawk Scavenger, sometimes you're sweeping their graveyard away and shrinking your own Nighthawk Scavenger. Well, it's not a big deal if you're giving it +3/+0, right? in some ways, since I had already lost to Buttons, I was terrified at the finals. But again, you got to have confidence in your deck, and I feel like in general, I should have a pretty solid mono red matchup, right?
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about.
I was saying that in the deck tech, where the amount of lifelink creatures here, you know, if the red player can't keep you off your creatures for the first few turns, you know, they're basically all must kills. And then if they spend their time bolting your creatures, that gives time for Obliterator and Rotting Regisaur to play also. So definitely worked out. Super close games. That first game was so close.
Oh my God.
So close.
For real.
You must have been cringing when the top deck draw 2 spell when you were at like 3 life, right?
Oh. Folks, you know, I'm glad the cam wasn't on because I might have wet myself on camera in front of all these people.
It's not a big deal.
Right?
Oh my gosh,
right?
That was crazy. Yeah,
but you guys did on any of the matchups you guys actually got to follow me in. Did you guys actually get to see the because I didn't have the stream up. I wouldn't want any I wouldn't want there to be any thoughts of impropriety or whatever, you know. Right. But was there any anytime you guys saw the Phyrexian bring back from the graveyard? No, the other one.
Grave. Oh no, we didn't.
Reclamation. Yeah. Oh darn it. See,
no, we never saw that card. Yeah.
It really came in handy in a couple of the matchups where you might not have gotten to see there. You know, being able to pay 2 life, pay 2 mana, and return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Man, I'm telling you, you can really grind. And you know, I tease a little bit about trying to dodge the control matchup, but as long as they can't exile the enchantment with the Phyrexian Reclamation, you can just keep recurring those creatures. And obviously, the honest to goodness control plan is try and curve out. Try and attack in good, right? But then if you can resolve, I have 2 Phyrexian Reclamation in the main and then 1 on the side. And if you can resolve one of those, sometimes they really have a hard time dealing with it. And one of the things that the control decks want to do is, first of all, they have damage-based removal. And damage-based removal is very bad against Phyrexian Obliterator, obviously. I'm sure you guys talked about that. But so then they're sweeping it away or something. Well, okay, but Divine Purge doesn't hit Phyrexian Obliterator, so they've got to actually use a dedicated board sweeper, like Day of Judgment, like Wrath of God, like Doomscar. But then if I can just get it back, you can't chump it with your Sharks, which is a common game plan. Not only does it trample, but you're losing permanence every time. You know, it's the I think it's a little worse maybe coming up. So be cautious on your crafting this deck if any of you are interested in doing that, because old T4, you know, it used to be 3 fairy, bouncing Phyrexian Obliterator. That's a bad game.
Pretty good, yeah.
You don't want to be on the Phyrexian Obliterator side of that.
The one card that I talked about that could against the control decks that could really cleanly deal with Phyrexian Obliterator is Fateful Absence. So as long as you can dodge that card, then you'll be okay in the control matchups. But I also mentioned that you probably don't have the best matchup against control decks, but your game plan seemed to work out. But against the red decks, against Gruul decks, or even the artifact deck that you played against, you completely destroyed them with Rotting Regisaur and Phyrexian Obliterator.
Yep. And that's the general idea, right? Do a little bit of controlling stuff early on. You noticed a couple of Bloodchiefs there. You noticed the Sap Vitalities we talked about. Curve out well and force them to deal with every single threat. There's a lot of decks in the format who just don't have enough card advantage. There's so much tempo in Magic right now, you know, and cards like Expressive Iteration stuff. You know, you could gush another Magic card about those cards, but you know, darn it, 3 mana 7/6s are pretty good too.
Yes, that's a good way to end it. 3 mana 7/6s are pretty good too. All right. Do you have anything else that you'd like to ask Jim before we crown JohnLikesGames as the new Stream League 8 champion?
No, it's a great place to end. Sometimes keyword big is just good enough.
That's true. And you know what's better than a crown? A top hat. I'm really happy that you won JohnLikesGames. Oh, there we go. You had it available. I'm really happy that you won JohnLikesGames. And I can't wait to check out one of your streams in the future. Hopefully you're playing that mono black deck again.
I'll definitely fool around with it some for sure.
All right, well, congratulations to JohnLikesGames for winning Stream League 8. Stream League 9 will most likely be happening next month, but you're going to get a good chunk of change from CoolStuffInc.com and your guaranteed invite into Mythic Invitational Qualifier in February.
Thank you.
All right. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Stream League 8, sponsored by CoolStuffInc.com. Make sure to check out the About section in my profile for everybody that sponsors this amazing event and this stream in general, like Grey Vikings Games, where you can get a bunch of different things. Also, JohnLikesGames is a part of DGen Gaming. So if you type in !DGen as well, you can check out all the DGen Gaming streamers and check out all the things that we provide as well in the About section. Also, huge thank you over here to Jim Davis for helping us out for the 5th or 6th time. I really appreciate your insight in helping us out with this in a major way. Thank you so much. And also thank you to everybody, all of you guys that have joined this tournament as well. It wouldn't be possible without everybody working together. So thank you, everybody. And congratulations one more time to JohnLikesGames for the Stream League 8 champion. We'll see you next time. And as always, use game. Out. Let's go!